Shri Guru Shri Yatha Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishkam Vitam Cha Om Jnana Timaranda Shagana Jana Shalakaya Chakshurum Milidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bhishtam Supurakam Gurganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govindabhidam Ujwalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Mande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Premna Vibijapradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandabananam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sareka Varanam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Bandetam Shivaram Madeka Sharanam Nyashishvara Shridaram Vanshakopatarubyascha Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavenebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gorata Vishay Namah. So we're hearing from the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishna das Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is Antya-lila, chapter 16. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tastes nectar from the lips of Lord Sri Krishna. I'll begin with verse number 80. Ek din Prabhu gela Jagannath darshane simadware dalai ashi korila bandane. One day when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to visit the temple of Lord Jagannath, the gatekeeper at the Simadwara approached him and offered respectful obeisances. Tare bole kota Krishna mora prananat more Krishna deko bole dare tarahat. The Lord asked him, "Where is Krishna, my life and soul? Please show me Krishna." Saying this, he caught the doorkeeper's hand. Se hoko iha hoy Brajendra Nandan Aishatumi Mora Sange Karana Darshan. The doorkeeper replied, "The son of Maharaj Nanda is here. Please come along with me and I shall show you." Tumi Mora Saka Dekaha Kaha Prananat Etaboli Jagamohan Gila Dori Tarahat. Lord Chaitanya said to the doorman, "You are my friend. Please show me where the Lord of my heart is." After the Lord said this, they both went to the place known as Jagamohan, where everyone views Lord Jagannath. Sehoboli Edeka Shri Purushottama Netra Bariyatumi Korahadarshan. Just see, the doorkeeper said, "Here is the best of the personalities of Godhead. From here you may see the Lord to the full satisfaction of your eyes." Garudera Pache Rohe Korana Darshan Dekena Jagannatha Hoy Murali Badan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed behind the huge column called the Garuda Stamba and looked upon Lord Jagannath. But as he looked, he saw that Lord Jagannath had become Lord Krishna with his flute to his mouth. E lila nija grante Raghunath das Gorangastava Kopa Brikke Korijachin Prakash. In his book known as Goranga Stava Kopa Vriksha, Raghunath das Goswami has described this incident very nicely. Kvame Kanda Krishna Svaritam Ihatam Lokaya Sake Tvam Evete Dwara Deepam Abhivandan Unmara Eva Drutam Gacha Drashtum Priyam Iti Tad Uktena Drittatad Bhujantar Gorango Hridaya Udayan Mamarayati. My dear friend, the doorkeeper, where is Krishna, the Lord of my heart? Kindly show him to me quickly. With these words, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu addressed the doorkeeper like a madman. The doorkeeper grasped his hand and replied very hastily, "Come see your beloved." May that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rise within my heart and thus make me mad also. In a Kali Gopala Vallabha Bhoga Lagaila Shanga Ganta Adisaha Arati Bajila. The offering of food, known as Gopala Vallabha Bhoga, was then given to Lord Jagannath, and arti was performed with the sound of the conch and the ringing of bells. Bhoga Sharile Jagannathar Sevakagan Prashada Loya Prabhutai Koila Agaman. When the arti finished, the prashadam was taken out, and the servants of Lord Jagannath came to offer some to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Malaparana Prashadila Prabhurhate Ashwara Dure Rahu Jara Gande Manamate. The servants of Lord Jagannath first garlanded Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then offered him Lord Jagannath's prashadam. The prashadam was so nice that its aroma alone, to say nothing of its taste, would drive the mind mad. Bahumuya prashad se bastu sarvutam tara alpa kaun jaite seva korila jatan. The prashadam was made of very valuable ingredients. Therefore, the servant wanted to feed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a portion of it. Tara alpaloya Prabhu jiva te jaridila arasab govindera anshale bandila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tasted a portion of the prashadam. Govinda took the rest and bound it in the end of his wrapper. Koti amrita shwarapaya prabhur chamatkar sarvange pulakanetre bahe ashudar. To Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the prashadam tasted millions upon millions of times better than nectar, and thus he was fully satisfied. The hair all over his body stood on end, and incessant tears flowed from his eyes. Edravye astashwara kahan hoite aila Krishnera adharamrita ite sancharila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considered, where has such a taste in this prashadam come from? Certainly it is due to its having been touched by the nectar of Krishna's lips. E budye Mahaprabhu premavesha hoila Jagannathara sevak deki sambarana koila. Understanding this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt an emotion of ecstatic love for Krishna. But upon seeing the servants of Lord Jagannath, he restrained himself. Sukriti labhya felalab bolana barbar Ishwara sevaka puche ki arta ihar. The Lord said again and again, only by great fortune may one come by a particle of the remnants of food offered to the Lord. The servants of the Jagannath temple inquired, what is the meaning of this? They wanted to know. The Lord said again and again, only by great fortune may one come by a particle of the remnants of food offered to the Lord. The servants of the Jagannath temple inquired, what is the inner meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? Prabhu kohe eje dila Krishna dara amrita Pramadi Durlabha e Nindaye Amrita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, "These are remnants of food that Krishna has eaten and thus turned to nectar with his lips. It surpasses heavenly nectar, and even such demigods as Lord Brahma find it difficult to obtain. Krishnar Jai Bhuktashesh Tarafelanam Tara Ek Lava Jai Pai Se Bhagyavan." Remnants left by Krishna are called Fela. Anyone who obtains even a small portion must be considered very fortunate. Samanya Bhagya Hoite Tara Prapti Nahi Hoy Krishnara Jante Purna Kripa Se Tahapai. One who is only ordinarily fortunate cannot obtain such mercy. Only persons who have the full mercy of Krishna can receive such remnants. Sukriti Shabde Kohe Krishna Kripa Hetu Punya Se Jara Hoy Fela Pai Se Danya. The word Sukriti refers to pious activities performed by the mercy of Krishna. One who is fortunate enough to obtain such mercy receives the remnants of the Lord's food and thus becomes glorious. Etabole Prabhuta Sabare Vidaya Dila Upalabhog Dekiya Prabhu Nijabasa Aila. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bade farewell to all the servants. After seeing the next offering of food to Lord Jagannath, a function known as Upalabhog, he returned to his own quarters. Madhyana Koriya Koila Bikka Nirbahan Krishna-adharamrita Sada Antare Smaran. After finishing his noon duties, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ate his lunch, but he constantly remembered the remnants of Krishna's food. Bhaya Kritya Koran Preme Garagarman Kashte Sambarana Koran Aveshas Sagan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed his external activities, but his mind was filled with ecstatic love. With great difficulty, he tried to restrain his mind, but it would always be overwhelmed by very deep ecstasy. Sandhya Kritya Kore Puna Nijagan Sange Nibritte Basila Nana Krishna Katarange. After finishing his evening duties, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down with his personal associates in a secluded place and discussed the pastimes of Krishna in great jubilation. Prabhura Ingite Govinda Prashada Anila Puri Bharatire Prabhu Kichu Pataila. Following the indications of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Govinda brought the prashadam of Lord Jagannath. The Lord sent some to Paramananda Puri and Brahmananda Bharati. Ramananda Sarvabhauma Swarupadi Gane Sabare Prashad Dila Koriya Bantane. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then gave shares of the prashadam to Ramananda Rai, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Swarup Damodar Goswami, and all the other devotees. Prasaderas Sorabhya Madhurya Kore Ashvadan Alukika Ashvade Sabar Vishmita Hoilaman. As they tasted the uncommon sweetness and fragrance of the prashadam, everyone's mind was struck with wonder. Prabhu Kohe E Sab Hoy Prakrita Dravya Aikava Karpura Maricha Elaicha Lavanga Gavya Rasabas Gura Gudatbaka Adijata Sab Prakrita Bastura Shwada Sabara Anubhav. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, these ingredients such as sugar, camphor, black pepper, cardamom, cloves, butter, spices, and licorice are all material. Everyone has tasted these material substances before. Se drabye eta ashwad ganda lokatita ashwara koryadeka sabara pratita. However, the Lord continued, in these ingredients there are extraordinary taste and uncommon fragrances. Just taste them and see the difference in the experience. Ashwara dure rahu jara gande mateman apana bina anya madhurya koraya vishmaran. Apart from the taste, even the fragrance pleases the mind and makes one forget any other sweetness besides its own. Tate e dravye Krishna dara sparsha hoila adarera gunasab ihate sancharila. Therefore it is to be understood that the spiritual nectar of Krishna's lips has touched these ordinary ingredients and transferred to them all their spiritual qualities. Alukika gandhashwara anya vishmaran mahamaraka hoy e Krishna darera gun. A fragrance and taste that are uncommon and greatly enchanting and that make one forget all other experiences are attributes of Krishna's lips. Aneka sukrite iha hayache samrapti sabe e ashwara kora kori mahabhakti. This prashadam has been made available only as a result of many pious activities. Now taste it with great faith and devotion. Only by great sukriti has one gotten this. This prashadam has been made available only as a result of many pious activities. Now taste it with great faith and devotion. Haridwani kore sabe Koila ashwadan ashwadite premimata hoila sabarman. Loudly chanting the holy name of Hari, all of them tasted the prashadam. As they tasted it, their minds became mad in the ecstasy of love. Premaveshe Mahaprabhu Jabe Antya-lila Ramananda Rai Shloka Bharite Lagila. In ecstatic love, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Ramananda Roy to recite some verses. Thus Ramananda Roy spoke as follows. Surata Vardhanam Shokanashanam Swarita Venuna Shushtu Chumbitam Itara Raga Vishmaranam Rinam Vitara Viranaste adharamritam. O hero of charity, please deliver unto us the nectar of your lips. That nectar increases lusty desires for enjoyment and diminishes lamentation in the material world. Kindly give us the nectar of your lips, which are touched by your transcendentally vibrating flute, for that nectar makes all human beings forget all other attachments. Shloka Shuni Mahaprabhu Mahatushta Hoila Radhara Utkanda Shloka Parite Lagila. Upon hearing Ramananda Roy quote this verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very satisfied. Then he recited the following verse, which had been spoken by Srimati Radharani in great anxiety. Vrajatula Kulanganetar Rasali Trishnahara Pradivyad adharamrita Sukriti Labhya Fela Lava Shudajid Ahivalika Shudala Vitika Charvita Same Madana Mohana Sakit Tanoti Jiva Spriyam. My dear friend, the all-surpassing nectar from the lips of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, can be obtained only after many, many pious activities. For the beautiful gopis of Vrindavan, that nectar vanquishes the desire for all other taste. Madan Mohan always chews pan that surpasses the nectar of heaven. He is certainly increasing the desires of my tongue. Ete kohe gora prabhu, baba vishta hoya, dvishloker arta kore pralapa korea. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was overwhelmed by ecstatic loving emotions. Talking like a madman, he began to explain the meaning of the two verses. Tanuman Koraya Koba Baraya Surata Loba Harsha Shokari Bharavinashai Pasaraya Anyaras Jagat Kore Atmavas Lajadharma Dorya Kore Koi Nagara Shuna Tomar Adara Charita Mataya Nare Raman Jiva Kore Akarshan Vicharite Sab Viparita. My dear lover, Lord Chaitanya said in the mood of Srimati Radharani, let me describe some of the characteristics of your transcendental lips. They agitate the mind and body of everyone. They increase lusty desires for enjoyment. They destroy the burden of material happiness and lamentation, and they make one forget all material taste. The whole world falls under their control. They vanquish shame, religion, and patience, especially in women. Indeed, they inspire madness in the minds of all women. Your lips increase the greed of the tongue and thus attract it. Considering all this, we see that the activities of your lips are always paradoxical. Achuka narerakai kohite masiye laj tomara dara bora drishta rai purushe kore akarshan apana piyaite man anyaras sab pasarai. My dear Krishna, since you are a male, it is not very extraordinary that the attraction of your lips can disturb the minds of women. But I am ashamed to say that your impudent lips sometimes attract even your flute, which is also considered a male. It likes to drink the nectar of your lips, and thus it also forgets all other taste. Sachetan Rahudore Achetan Sachetan Kore Tomara Adara Bora Vajikar Tomara Benu Shuskенdan Tara Janmai Indriyaman Tare Apana Piyaya Nirantar. Aside from conscious living beings, even unconscious matter is sometimes made conscious by your lips. Therefore, your lips are great magicians. Paradoxically, although your flute is nothing but dry wood, your lips constantly make it drink their nectar. They create a mind and senses in the dry wooden flute and give it transcendental bliss. Benu drishta purusha hoya, purusha dara piya piya, Gopigane Janaya Nijapan Ahoshuna Gopigan Bole Pino Tomaradan Tomarajadi Take Abhiman. That flute is a very cunning male who drinks again and again the taste of another male's lips. It advertises its qualities and says to the gopis, "O gopis, if you are so proud of being women, come forward and enjoy your property, the nectar of the lips of Krishna." Tabe more kroda kore lajabaya dharma chadi dimu kora ashipan nahe bhima Pimu Nirantar Tomaya Mora Nahikadar Anye Dekon Trinera Saman. Thereupon the flute said angrily to me, "Give up your shame, fear, and religion, and come drink the lips of Krishna. On that condition I shall give up my attachment for them. If you do not give up your shame and fear, however, I shall continuously drink the nectar of Krishna's lips. I am slightly fearful because you also have the right to drink that nectar, but as for the others, I consider them like straw." Adharamrita nijasware sanchariya sebole akarshai Sri Jagat Jan Amaradharma Bhaya Kori Rohejari Daryadori Tabi Amai Kori Vidamban. The nectar of Krishna's lips, combined with the vibration of his flute, attracts all the people of the three worlds. But if we gopis remain patient out of respect for religious principles, the flute then criticizes us. Nibi Kashai Guru Age Lajadharma Koraya Tyage Keshe Dori Jaina Loya Jai Ani Koraya Tumar Dasi Shuni Loka Korihasi E Mata Narira Nachai. The nectar of your lips and the vibration of your flute join together to loosen our belts and induce us to give up shame and religion, even before our superiors. As if catching us by our hair, they forcibly take us away and deliver us unto you to become your maidservants. Hearing of these incidents, people laugh at us. We have thus become completely subordinate to the flute. Shushka Banshera Latikan Etakori Apaman Edasha Korila Gosai Nasahi Ki Korite Pari Taherohim Monadori Choraram Make Daki Kandite Nai. This flute is nothing but a dry stick of bamboo, but it becomes our master and insults us in so many ways that it forces us into a predicament. What can we do but tolerate it? The mother of a thief cannot cry loudly for justice when the thief is punished. Therefore, we simply remain silent. Adarera eriti arashuna kuniti se adara sane jaram mela se bhaktya bojapan hoy amrita saman namatara hoy Krishna fela. Such is the policy of these lips. Just consider some other injustices. Everything that touches those lips, including food, drink, or betel, become just like nectar. It is then called Krishna fela, or remnants left by Krishna. Se felara eglab napai devata sab edambe keba patijai bahujanma punya kore tabe sukriti namadore se sukrite tara labapai. Even after much prayer, the demigods themselves cannot obtain even a small portion of the remnants of such food. Just imagine the pride of those remnants. Only a person who has acted piously for many, many births and has thus become a devotee can obtain the remnants of such food. Krishna Jai Kaya Tambula Kohe Tara Nahimula Tahe Ara Damba Paripati Tara Jebel Udgara Tare Koi Amritasara Gopira Mukha Kore Alabati. The betel chewed by Krishna is priceless, and the remnants of such chewed betel from his mouth are said to be the essence of nectar. When the gopis accept these remnants, their mouths become his spittoons. E sab tomar kutinate chara e paripati benu dware kahe harapran apanara hasi lagi naha narira barabagi deho nija adharamrita dan. Therefore, my dear Krishna, please give up all the tricks you have set up so expertly. Do not try to kill the life of the gopis with the vibration of your flute. Because of your joking and laughing, you are becoming responsible for the killing of women. It would be better for you to satisfy us by giving us the charity of the nectar of your lips. Kohite Prabhu Mana Firi Gela Kroda Amsha Shanta Hoila Utkanta Badila. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was talking like this, his mind changed, his anger subsided, but his mental agitation increased. Parama Durlabha E Krishna-nama Tahaje Pai Tara Safala Jibita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, the nectar from Krishna's lips is supremely difficult to obtain, but if one gets some, his life becomes successful. Jogya Haya Keho Koritena Pai Pan Tatapi Se Nirlajja Britta Dore Pran. When a person competent to drink that nectar does not do so, that shameless person continues his life uselessly. Ayogya hoya taha keho sara pana kore jogya jana nahi pai lobe matra more. There are persons who are unfit to drink that nectar, but who nevertheless drink it continuously, whereas some who are suitable never get it and thus die of greed. Tate jani kon tapashyara achebo ajogjare deojai Krishna-adharamrita fall. It is therefore to be understood that such an unfit person must have obtained the nectar of Krishna's lips on the strength of some austerity. Kahar Ramarai Kichu Shunite Hoiman Bhavajane Paderai Gopira Bachan. Again, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Ramananda Roy, please say something, I want to hear. Understanding the situation, Ramananda Roy recited the following words of the gopis. Gopyakim acharad ayam kushalam smavenur damodaradara shudam api gopikanam bhunkte swayam yad avashishta rasam hridadinyo. Bhunkte swayam yad avashishta rasam hridadinyo. Rishyatvacho shvinu mumuchus taravo yatartya. My dear gopis, what auspicious activities must the flute have performed to enjoy the nectar of Krishna's lips independently and leave only a taste for us gopis, for whom that nectar is actually meant. The forefathers of the flute, the bamboo trees, shed tears of pleasure. His mother, the river on whose bank the bamboo was born, feels jubilation, and therefore her blooming lotus flowers are standing like hairs on her body. Shloka Shuni Prabhu Bhava Vishtahaya Utkantate Artakore Pralapakorya. Upon hearing the recitation of this verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became absorbed in ecstatic love, and with a greatly agitated mind he began to explain its meaning like a madman. Ho Vrajendra Nandan, Vrajarakon Kanyagan, Avashya Koriba Parinoy, Se Sambande Gopigan, Jarimani Nijadan, Se Shuda Anjara Labanoy. Some gopis said to other gopis, just see the astonishing pastimes of Krishna, the son of Brajendra. He will certainly marry all the gopis of Vrindavan. Therefore the gopis know for certain that the nectar of Krishna's lips is their own property and cannot be enjoyed by anyone else. Gopigan kahasab korea vichare kon tirta kon tapa kon siddham mantra japa ebenu koila janmantare. My dear gopis, fully consider how many pious activities this flute performed in his past life. We do not know what places of pilgrimage he visited, what austerities he performed, or what perfect mantra he chanted. Hena Krishna Dara Shuddha Jai Koila Amrita Muda Jara Ashaya Gopidare Bran Evenu Ayogya Ati Stavara Purusha Jati Se Shuddha Sarakoriban. This flute is utterly unfit because it is merely a dead bamboo stick. Moreover, it belongs to the male sex. Yet this flute is always drinking the nectar of Krishna's lips, which surpasses nectarian sweetness of every description. Only by hoping for that nectar do the gopis continue to live. Jaradan na kohe tare panakore malatkare pite tare dakiya janai tara tapasyara fela deka ihara bhagyabala ihara uchishta mahajanekai. Although the nectar of Krishna's lips is the absolute property of the gopis, the flute, which is just an insignificant stick, is forcibly drinking that nectar and loudly inviting the gopis to come and drink it also. Just imagine the strength of the flute's austerities and good fortune. Even great devotees drink the nectar of Krishna's lips after the flute has done so. Manasa Ganga Kalindi Bhuvana Pavani Nadi Krishna Jari Tate Kore Snan Venora Jutadara Ras Loya Lobe Parabas Sekale Harshe Koreban. When Krishna takes his bath in universally purifying rivers like the Jamuna and the Ganges of the celestial world, the great personalities of those rivers greedily and jubilantly drink the remnants of the nectarian juice from his lips. Etanare rahudure brika sab taratire tapakore paru upakari nadira sesha rasapan Nadira Sesha Rasapana Mula Dware Akarshiya Kene Piye Bujite Napari. Aside from the rivers, the trees standing on the banks like great ascetics and engaging in welfare activities for all living entities drink the nectar of Krishna's lips by drawing water from the river with their roots. We cannot understand why they drink like that. Nijan Kure Pulakita Pushpe Hasha Vikashita Madhumishe Bahe Ashrudar Benure Mani Nija Jati Arjara Jena Putranati Vaishnava Hoile Ananda Vikar. The trees on the bank of the Jamuna and Ganges are always jubilant. They appear to be smiling with their flowers and shedding tears in the form of flowing honey. Just as the forefathers of a Vaishnava son or grandson feel transcendental bliss, the trees feel blissful because the flute is a member of their family. Vinora tapa jani jave se tapa koritabe e ayogya amara jogya nari jena paya duke mari ajogya piye sahite nari tahalagi tapasya vichari. The gopis considered the flute as completely unfit for his position. We want to know what kinds of austerities the flute executed so that we may also perform the same austerities. Although the flute is unfit, he is drinking the nectar of Krishna's lips. Seeing this, we qualified gopis are dying of unhappiness. Therefore, we must consider the austerities the flute underwent in his past life. Eteka pralapa kori, premaveshe gorahari, sangeloya swarup ramarai, kabunache kabugai, bababeshe murchajai, erupe ratri dinajai. While thus speaking like a madman, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became full of ecstatic emotion. In the company of his two friends, Swarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Roy, he sometimes danced, sometimes sang, and sometimes became unconscious in ecstatic love. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed his days and nights in this way. Swarup Rupa Sanatan Raghunath das Sri Charan Shiridore Kore Jara Ash Chaitanya Charitamrita Amrita Hoite Paramrita Gaidina Hina Krishna-das. Expecting the mercy of Swarup Damodar Rupa, Sanatan and Raghunath Das, and taking their lotus feet on my head, I, the most fallen Krishna-das, continue chanting the epic Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is sweeter than the nectar of transcendental bliss. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya-lila, 16th chapter, describing the nectar flowing from Sri Krishna's lotus lips. Mridanga. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Saravaya Nama Hariharaya Jaravaya Maravaya Krishavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Maranamon Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Swarupa Sanata Bhakta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Dasa Raghunath Jai Gosai Kori Janana Bandhan Jai Te Ambar Para Renu Mora Panchagra Tare Charana Sebi Bhakta Sanema Janame Janame More Ambilan Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilaban Radha Krishna Antya-lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayi Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Pada Koriyan Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Lord Damodar Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Nitai Gora Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gora Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhara Ju Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Tilak Niri Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Ashtatara Sadashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Ashtatara Sadashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai. Namachari Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Premsigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Vishvavarenya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishna-das Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Bhakti Kusham Ashram Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Sham Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo ki jai. Shri Purushottam Madam ki jai. Baladeva Subhadra Jagannath Jo ki jai. Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shrina Shingadev ki jai. Bhakta Prabhara Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.